can you get for interest? You can do it by category. So you can click on category and select category. You can't do it by keyword. But let's say you want to do to diet and fitness, and it'll give a list of sites in diet and fitness, and you can do it that way, and it'll show you the top sites. So Calorie Cooking, Fitness Magazine, Spark People, and so you can actually use these sites to actually take the keywords. So you can actually go straight to Spy Food, grab these keywords, go to Spy Food, and put these keywords in. For ideas. So if you're having a hard time trying to figure out which sites to use for keywords, you can use these sites, and I can guarantee that these sites are going to have a large keyword list, at least an organic keyword list, because these are organic, really highly organic sites. They may not be advertising on Google and Bing, like for paid advertising, but if they're going to be ranked pretty high, and if Quantcast is ranking them, they're going to be ranked pretty high, and you can definitely get a lot of organic keywords. I have a question here. When setting up a campaign under advanced location settings, which option do you normally choose? Show as the people search. Okay, yeah. So it's kind of not related to what we're talking about here, but yeah. So in Bing, let me actually log in. So so Bing actually, when you create your campaign under settings, so I think it's under targeting. So this is actually Bing's editor tool. We can do stuff from here without logging in. You can select different options. Show ads to people anywhere in the world. Show ads to people only able to select locations or near a certain area. What we like to do, I like to show ads only to people in the location, because you can have people who are in the U.S. maybe using Google Canada, or people in the U.S. using Google Philippines. For some reason, or people in the Philippines using Google U.S. So if I have a product that only ships to U.S. customers, I don't want people outside of the U.S. viewing the site, because I can't make money from them. So it's like a waste of money. So I only want people clicking my ads I can make money from. And if I can't make money from someone outside the U.S., I do not want people outside of the U.S. looking at my ad. So I only want to show ads to people in my selected location that my product is able to sell to. All right. So with that said, we can take some questions here. That's pretty much the. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I wanted to go over the banning issues. That's right. So so let me go over that real quick. So fortunately, this is very simple. Okay, Bing will ban you if they find out you're using a advertorial. But I don't even know if it's always the advertorial. A lot of advertorials use exit pops. So it may be, excuse me. So it may be that they will ban you because you have an exit pop for whatever reason. Who fucking knows, right? I mean, they will ban you for whatever, not to say that it always happens out of nowhere, but if they don't like something you're doing, they will ban you. And a lot of times it's for using an advertorial, using an exit pop, having too many unrelated keywords in your campaign, and I'm talking about in the tens of thousands that have nothing to do with what you're selling. And those are the few reasons, or something like with billing, like you screwed up your billing address, you didn't have the right number there, or something like that, right? So they'll ban you. So it's a ban that says, hey, it's an automated ban that they do to say, hey, you can't advertise with your name and your car number and your address. So nice. So basically they're saying, like, okay, so you can't, your address is 100% gone. You can never advertise with this address again. All right. And your name to that address was linking. So so it's not just the name, but it's the address mainly. Because people have, there's plenty of Davids out there, there's plenty of Evans out there. So I don't think they're going to ban your name, but it's the address and the card, obviously the card number, that they're going to ban, right? So all you need to do, it's very simple. And I'm going to actually put this in a new slide here. So let me actually do, and I actually thought. All right, so what you want to do is you want to get a business bank account. So you need a business bank account. You guys should already have a business bank account, business checking. You can get. We highly recommend. We recommend Bank of America. Highly recommend. But get a checking account, business checking account. You know, if you guys are in business and doing some stuff, you should have a LLC. You should have a corporation, something like that. So just open up a new account or something like that, or even use your existing account. So that's number one. If you don't have a business checking account, just start a corporation. Do it. You know, go to LegalZoom.com or something like that. Spend, you know, $199, whatever their thing is they have. You know, get a DBA. You know, I'm not a fucking lawyer, so I don't know exactly everything to do, but you get the point. Like, you know, get a business checking. All right, so that's number one. The next thing to do, so the next thing that you need to do is get an employee card. Now, here's the thing. The employee does not need to be real.
But one thing, Shakri, go over and type in debit, because it is an employee debit card. It's not an employee credit card.
Right.
Yeah, it's an employee debit card.
Very good. I see you eating over there. You got me something? Or you just
sorry, I ran to the store real quick, guys, and got some beer and some beef flanks jerky. Hungry as hell, ready to start drinking. So I got some over here, man. You got to finish your presentation. Make sure you do a good enough job. Then you can get some beef flank jerky.
Oh, I can get you. Okay, I got you. All right. So yeah, so that's a point. It's a debit card. Like, it's not a credit card. So you don't have to worry about like credit. You know, if you have shitty credit, you know, if you have a good enough credit to get a checking account, you should be fine. All right. So it's an employee debit card, and you just make up a name. You know, we go to fake name generator. You know, actually don't do that. Use different sources. You don't want everybody coming up with the same name. You know, so find a source, come up with a name, maybe scan through the white pages, come up with something, right? And that's all you need to have. You know, as a matter of fact, you know, the way we order our cards, the only thing they ask for is what is the name of your employee and where do we send the card. That's it. All right. So this person can be totally made up, imaginary. It does not matter. They just want to know that the person ordering the cards is you. So so just make sure that you put your, they're gonna ask you for your information, like what's your name, what's your, you know, what's your EIN number, and you know, what's the name of the person that, you know, what's the name of your employee that you want to send a card, you know. So you make up, like, say Jackie, you know, Janet Jackney. All right. So that's your new employee. You just put that name in. Actually, let me actually show you guys how it works with Bank of America. So, because a lot of guys are like, oh my God, I can't. What I do? Let me type in Bank of America employee debit card. All right. So this is yeah, man, too much porn, man. You're right. So request debit card, right? So this is business employee debit card. Click request debit card, and they ask you for your name, your tax ID, your first name and last name, your information, and then they ask you that first, and then you just, all you do here is, if you see what I'm doing, it asks for the cardholder's name. That's all it does. All right, doesn't ask for anything else but their name, so you can make the person up. All right. Now the second thing you do is just get an address. So you can either do this by getting a P.O. box or UPS store, or you can use an address of your family member.
Just make sure that family member hadn't ran on Bang before, and that address
right.
has been flagged. But yeah, obviously I'm pretty sure they haven't.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Or friend's address. You know, and make sure that, like I said, like you said, make sure these addresses aren't banned by Bang or Google. All right, and then once you get that address, you call up your bank and say, hey, you know, I want new address attached to new employee card. All right, now this is important because you want the card associated, this new card, you know, Janet Jackme, which is your employee, you want this new card, you want that address associated with that card. You don't want the address on file with your company. So your company may be myaddress.com, but you want, you know, another address attached to that employee because you've been banned, so you need a different address. So you want the new employee card to be attached to a totally different address, and you call them up and let them know, I have a new address for this particular card I want attached to it. And so therefore you have a new card with a new name, with a different address, and totally different identity, but it's attached to the same account. So that's all you do. I mean, we have tons of cards. I mean, it's pretty simple. That's all there is to it. You don't need to be a real person. Don't stress that out. It's just a name they ask for, and you can get 2, 3, 4 of them. And I would even think you probably even could just take somebody else's address. I mean, to me, I mean, I haven't tried that, but it makes sense why you can do that. I mean, unless you probably want to cut off any type of what do you call it, mail being sent to that to the address. Yeah.
I mean, it's so cheap. Excuse me, I know I'm eating and talking. Sorry, but it's so cheap to just get a PO box or something. Like I would, not with our accounts anyway. Like, because usually I handle the setup of all that stuff, and I normally will make sure to get a PO box or UPS, USPS box or UPS box, whatever the case may be. So you know, I would just go ahead and invest in it and do that. And Ross, I'm not actually sure if you can do that with Bank of America from outside the U.S., but I believe they have an international, where you can get an international account, but you probably want to call with them and check just to make sure, Ross. I'm not 100% sure on that, though.
Yeah, so Josh asks, can Bang check your card against their address? Yeah. I mean, that's what they do. I mean, that's what we figured out after getting banned 100 times. They check the address, and they check the name of the card, and see if those things match. And can you use VCCs, virtual credit cards? Yeah, you can use virtual credit cards, right, John? We was using VCCs.
Well, we were using them, but it seems like they're starting to catch up. So, you know, we were using them. They were working okay, and then sometimes we get banned, and they wouldn't tell us why. They just say it was a billing issue. So it seems to me like they're starting to catch up with the virtual credit cards, to be completely honest with you. Like I say, we used them in the past. Now that we have this trick with Bank of America, and not just Bank of America offers this, either Wells Fargo does. Most of your big banks will offer it. I can tell you for sure, like your little local mom and pop type joints, they don't do it. They have Chase should offer that, Mark. I would imagine so. I mean, they're big time, so I would imagine they would allow you to have several employee debit cards for sure. So, but yeah, I don't know about the VCCs, to be honest. It could be, you know, it could be a little iffy right around now, Josh.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's easy enough to order a new car with a new name. I mean, that's the easiest thing in the world. So.
And what you can do too, for Josh and for other guys who's asking about this, who's going to get this set up, go ahead and get yourself, tell them you need 3 employee cards. Just get 3 right off the bat. Go ahead and get 3 different PO boxes or 3 different UPS. Now, I'll be honest, like the UPS store, their boxes are more expensive, at least here in Savannah. I don't know how it is everywhere else. Their box is like $120 or $90 for 3 days for 3 months, and I can get 6 months of a PO box for like $30. So The PO boxes seem to work better, but one thing I like to try to do is get the PO box in different zip codes. You don't have to be that paranoid. We're just extra paranoid because we've been banned so many times in the past. But what we're doing now is working for us. So the PO boxes work fine. The UPS store boxes work pretty well. So you can do any of those, and I would just recommend going that route. And for you guys, since not in the U.S., I'm sure you guys probably got a big. I hear like Australia though, from what a lot of our clients tell us is that Australia has some really strong rules over there about like what you can and can't do. So I don't know if they'll allow the banks there to give you employee debit cards without having any information, but it seems that they would, because let's just looking at it from that angle. If you've got employees, you've got 5-6 employees, and they're out like going to different stores for different jobs. Let's say you own a construction company, and this one guy's going out to get plywood, this other guy's going out to get sheetrock, and they're going to different stores. You don't want them to all just have to use your card, so you just want them to have separate employee cards so that they can do their ordering and have their own stuff running for the jobs they're working on without having to bother you, personally. So, that's the theory behind it, and I'm sure that pretty much most big banks will have this option for you guys for sure. So anyway, just wanted to chime in on that, Shakri. So.
Cool. And I think, oh yeah, the last thing, make sure once you get that address changed and attached to that new card, make sure you talk to at least 3 different people to make sure that they've actually changed the address. Because what can happen is that they can tell you that, I attached the new address to the card, everything's good to go, and you go try and add your card to Bang and get banned, right? Make sure, confirm that card address is changed somehow. What I did is that one of the address that the new address that we use had a different zip code than my other card. So what I did was I just went to the gas station and put the card in and tried to get like $10 worth of gas, and I used the wrong zip code. I used a zip code that I knew shouldn't have been attached to that card. And when I did that, it didn't let me use the card. So it showed me that the address was changed. So that's one way, kind of a hacky way to go about doing it. But you want to make sure that you don't waste a card, a whole card, on wrong information from your bank teller or whatever who's telling you on the phone that they changed the address. So definitely, I would definitely once you get it changed, give it a couple of days. Give it 48
hours. Yeah, it's 48 hours. And like Shakri said, so what you want to do, because you got to look at it, you paid for this PO box now, and then once you enter the PO box in and Bang, when you're creating the account, you're entering the address with the card, everything like that. And if these jackasses hadn't changed it on the other end of Bank of America, whatever the bank is, then you pretty much just wasted your 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 bucks on that address that you just paid for. So like you said, usually it can take up to 48 hours. So give it a couple days, run up to the gas station, stick it in there, stick it in the card machine, and normally it just asks you for a zip code that's associated with the card. Enter the zip code, if it's the right zip code and it works, then obviously they've changed it. And if you enter that zip code and it hadn't, call the ass back up and tell them, because we've actually had to do that. We have had to call like 2 or 3 times, and they'll just tell you, yep, I got it changed. And I don't know if they're just lying for the sake of just because they don't know how to do it and don't want to ask their manager and get in trouble or whatever the case is, but they will definitely tell us they did it, and there's been several times when it hadn't been done. So you just kind of want to stay on top of that. And let's see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's a good point, David. Like, so just because these cards have been banned at Bang, them bitches still good on Google, on AdWords. So, like, don't throw them away. Don't, like, get rid of them completely, because you can still go to Google and use that card to pay with as well. So it's still going to be good there. And because some people think for some reason that, like, Google and Bang talk to each other, and they keep this database of, like, if you've been banned at Bang, we're going to tell Google about you too. And if you go over there, we're going to tell them to fucking man you too. Nah, it doesn't work that way. Like those two have no sort of communication. Their servers don't talk to each other or anything like that. So you guys are good to go if it gets banned, and vice versa. If you get banned on Google AdWords, but you hadn't used that card on Bing, you're good to go on Bing as well. And let me just answer John Barry's question real quick. John wants to know, all right, so are you guys using VPS or just accessing the accounts from the same IP? No, same IP, John, definitely not. We use a cloud, a cloud server. So, okay, cool. Yeah, Shakri says he's going to show you that.
So
right
I'll show him right now.
Yeah, so I'll let him show you guys. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's gonna be real quick. I just want to show you. This is what you call a remote desktop connection, and these are all different VPSs we have on our for our bank account. So I can go in and access different accounts here by just put it in the IP of the computer and just clicking connect. So yeah, we have definitely a different VPS for each account, different IP. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do that. You probably can get away with not doing that. But we're extra paranoid over here. So I'm going to change the presenter.
Let me unmute myself. Yeah, you can go ahead and do that. I want to talk to these guys about the adult dating workshop and stuff like that. So just switch it over, make the presenter, and I can show these guys that stuff.
All right, yeah, you're there you go.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. Let me get my question box back out here so I can see if anything. All right. Oh, cloud servers, Brian. I'm gonna be honest with you. Oh, nice, Ross. I like that. It makes sense now. Awesome, man. Awesome. So Brian, like normally I just give people out like one name for a cloud server because there's so many, and then people start to use the same one, and it leaves what's called a footprint in the industry where Bing and Google recognize if all the same things are going on. But yeah, if you Google cloud server, man, you'll be good. There's so many of them, and they're usually around the same price. And one other tip for you guys real quick. You don't necessarily I've done this before when we very first got started doing like CPA